Hello, Arrow.
Hello and good morning, you two. You know, I got to talk with you first, Aaron, only because the quality that you have put into this presentation is every bit what I'm trying to get future broadcasters to do. Share the story of the kids that are becoming tomorrow's legends.
Man, oh man, wow. Arrow, you're starting on fire. Absolutely, bro. I mean, it's like the whole idea is to just try to be a fly on the wall. So much about unscripted television can be really kind of scripted and set up. And we went into this in a whole different format. We wanted to show Evangel Christian Academy and Coach Denny Duron and his staff in real time, really kind of Friday Night Lights in real life. And how we did that was really kind of be a fly on the wall and be available and open and following things as they happen in real time. And man, what you see is what you get. It's exactly what God Family Football is all about.
Well, Coach, the way that you have designed your team and your plan, you are all about community, and that's what church is all about, community. You're building that team, you're showing teamwork, and it's going out to the fans. You are the man of energy.
Well, thank you for all of that. I so appreciate it. And community is so very important. And that's what we're trying to establish at Evangel. We're trying to establish more than a place where kids come to get education, or more than a place where they come to get athletic instruction, but a place that they understand the importance of community and their contribution to it. And I think of three things when I think of community. Number one, I think of how we're relating to our own personal responsibility to make a difference. Secondly, I think of the way that we relate to diversity. In other words, people that aren't like us, they don't look like us, maybe they don't believe like us, but the way that we relate to them is so very, very important in establishing community. And then the third thing is just how active we are in all of the challenges that we see around us in our community, because communities don't change unless somebody gets active. That's what faith and family is all about. And our mantra, God Family Football, It's all about community. It really is.
And that's the name of the show, God Family Football. And listeners need to understand, this is on FreeVee. I am a huge fan of FreeVee because of programming just like this. And Aaron, the way that you do those, you zoom in with that camera, we're listening to them on the sidelines, you're showcasing, this is NFL stuff, dude.
Well, man, I'm glad you recognize that, because we brought the best of the best in to do that. The guys and girls that are filming this show are from the NFL. We brought them, the sound people that are miking. See, people, they're miking pads. Yeah. People don't understand the art of, while you hear our quarterback on the field is real audio from him because of the people we brought in to make the experience of football. Look, I knew the God element, the faith element was going to be that's a no-brainer because that infiltrates every single element of their lives. I knew the family was there because that's the bedrock of their community. But the football element, from the standpoint of our storytelling, was the thing that I really, really wanted people that had no faith, had no lens of that, or had any experience with that. They were just football fans. I wanted them to get into our series and our show and be like, this is great football. And so we brought the best of the best in to capture that, and I think we did that. I'm glad you recognize that, Aaron.
Coach, I got to ask you a question about the team itself, because I know that so many times we get used to seeing each other in our uniforms, but do the students, when they're not wearing the uniforms, recognize their personal strengths out in the school as well as on the streets? In other words, the uniform is off, I'm wearing just regular street clothes. Is there still a unity there?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, if they don't have an off-the-field unity, then they don't have unity. Yeah. So it's very, very important that they are able to connect on a variety of levels, socially and spiritually, even academically. Their behavior in the classroom, the way they relate to their teachers, the way they relate to each other in the halls. All of this goes in to building unity. And what I must say is this. You can have everything else. You can have ability and skill set and hard work and conditioning. But if you don't have unity, you don't have anything on a football team, because it's families that win championships.
Aaron, how many of these students are coming up to you going, dude, what are you doing, man? Show me how you do this, because I got a YouTube channel. Oh, come on, show me your secrets, man.
A lot, actually. And ironically, football players from last year, who was a senior and part of the show, is now in Los Angeles at LA Film School. His name is Jackson. he was hanging out with us as much as he could, and we were showing him the ropes as much as we could. And now he's in LA pursuing that passion, and that's I'm pretty cool, man.
Wow,
pretty cool.
Coach, unshakable faith, that in itself is a choice and a lifestyle. How do you promote that without being that person that's going to shove it down their throat? I mean, you've got to wear it first, don't you?
Well, yeah, you do, and it's a matter of being, of course, and then doing. We have a doctrinal Bible study every time we meet for practice, and have for all of the time since I've taken over, which is going on 4 years. And so it is a very real thing for us to do what we need to be doing to get the Word of God into these young men's lives. Now, I will stop every now and then and ask them in this Bible study and worship time, what does this have to do with football? And they will shout back at me in unison, absolutely nothing. And then I'll say, then why are we doing this? And they will say, so we can become better men. And then sometimes I'll ask them this question, but would you be here allowing me to teach you the Word of God if you were on this football team? And they'll be honest with me and say, absolutely not.
So, Aaron, when you're filming a losing season that's changing, I mean, what do you personally feel? Because how do you stay strong when you know that these students and these players, they're fighting in there, they're trying to pull it from their soul?
Man, I think, it's interesting. I heard a quote. I wish I could be the one to say that I said it. I didn't, but I heard it. It said, pain is the invitation for transformation. And I'm watching these guys as they go through losses and they go through defeat and they go through difficult circumstances on and off the field, man. We're not just only on the field. We're talking about going into their personal lives, seeing their relationships with their family, seeing the dynamic between a father and a son and that struggle. We're seeing, dating relationships and them navigating those relationships. So we're seeing the ebb and flow of life and through the eyes of these kids and through the leadership of their coaching staff and Denny. But what it is you begin to realize that you begin to see the aha moments that they have of dealing with difficulty. And Denny said it so well. He should probably jump in here about what it is to be able to lose well.
Yeah. Yeah. This show comes at a great time. God Family Football on FreeVee. And the reason being is because we just saw on the NFL preseason this past week with the player that was injured with the Patriots. And both teams united and said that we're not going to play the rest of this game. I think it has to start somewhere. And, Coach, it's starting with you, dude, with what you're doing and people like you.
Well, absolutely. And for all those coaches that are listening right now, I just cannot stress enough how very, very important you are to the young men or the young women that you coach. There is no one that has the impact or the influence that you have in young people's lives. And that means if you're the violin teacher or you're the voice coach, if you have an influence in young people's lives over something that they consider to be their main thing, the thing that they love, then nobody has the influence that you have. And so I just can't stress enough how important it is for you to step up and be an individual that you want these guys to be like. And I've seen a lot of these coaches use language and use methods that honestly they wouldn't want anybody using with their own children. And that is inexcusable. We have got to step up to the plate and be the example that we want these kids to follow throughout life.
Well, congratulations on God, Family, and Football, the two of you. I expect to hear from you next season, too.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Arrow. Thank you for having us.
Well, you be brilliant today, you two.
You too.
You too, sir. I think you're already on the road.
God bless you.